Hi, everybody. I'm Savannah, and I'm here with Brenda Ulloa, the Communications Director at Global Church. But this is Let's Get on Brand, where mission meets design, and we help nonprofits, organizations, different industries just help you show up better in design. So, Brenda, we're just super happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And I'd love to know more about your story, your journey, and how you ended up here today.
Well, I've come to this church my entire life, but I went to college. I studied communications, and specifically I ended up doing public relations and advertising. And after college, of course, everybody does that. What am I going to do now with a degree? And I had the classic first job that had nothing to do with your degree. And then God just kind of worked it out, and the church needed another person on staff to kind of help with announcements and computer stuff and a variety of things. So that's where I came on.
Yeah.
And then my role has kind of developed through the years to what it is now.
Yeah, and it's cool because, I mean, I've always looked up to you because you're literally like the step ahead of me here, because you're the pastor's daughter, like 5 to 10 years above, and then I'm the pastor's daughter 5 to 10 years back, but like you did design, I did design.
It was kind of cool.
It's been very cool to see the work you've done, and like especially here at church. But you don't only do design, you do a lot of different things. So what does your role entail?
So my role, instead of having a team or a department, we have me. And so I do anything: print design, website, social media, video announcements, you name it, I do it. I also do the children's ministry.
Yeah.
So like, it's a variety.
Anything that has presence for our church is what you do.
Visually, especially. Yes.
You went from studying this to then being here. At what point did it become, I need to take on design? Because I know that's what you studied. Is that what you started as?
I started as bringing on Adobe. Like, okay, how are we going to put this together? And it was very, very basic at the beginning, and they were using Word, and I do not like Microsoft. I'm an Adobe girl, and Mac. I brought Macs into the church. And so just using InDesign to start doing our weekly bulletins. And we would do announcement inserts or flyers, or if we needed to do a poster, or back then it was doing PowerPoint slides. So a variety of that. So it started very basic, and then it really morphed into okay, let's look at the whole package.
Yeah. So when you first got in and you're bringing in these new ideas, what was it like working with the team to try to help change their mindset around, hey, these visuals matter?
I mean, it took time. Our team has always been good at wanting to present everything we do with excellence. So everything visually, there was no, let's just throw this and throw this. I hope that I brought some direction and the why. And even when laying things out on a page, people love to let's put as much as possible. And I could hear my teachers going, white space. And the brain and the eyes can only see a certain amount of things. And they were like, okay, well, we understand that from a point when we're preaching a message, there's certain ways that you do it so people get it.
Yeah.
So they were able to understand, okay, we need to do that design-wise also.
Yeah.
So that's helped.
What's something, because you mentioned like there's a specific way to do that where like people understand the message, right? What are some ways that you've kind of helped with that? Or maybe what processes have established like, hey, this is clear for the audience?
Well, even just for, let's say, our branding. If you come on our campus or look at anything, you're going to notice compasses, because our global church and the compass, we wanted everything around that. We even we love God, we love His Word, we love our neighbor, we love, and so everything was built around that compass.
It's not never, or what is it, never eat soggy waffles?
No, never eat soggy. It's not that. There was a purpose.
Yes.
We wanted everything that we put out to have a purpose, not just to have an image to have an image.
Yeah.
Why do we have an image? Why do we really need a logo for this group? Everybody, it's very common to have a logo and a name for every group in the church. And back when I started the singles ministry after college, they all wanted a name. And I said, we don't need a name until there's a purpose and a reason to have it.
Yeah.
And so when it came, okay, then we got to look. But everything, all the looks, from the kids to the youth, to whatever we do, there's some kind of compass or something so that it makes sense of who we are. So it's not just random things. We are one, and there's one message.
Well, and it's cool because I saw something online for some other designer where they kind of have this question of, does your church need the same like consistent logo in all your other ministries, or can you kind of have fun in that? And that kind of seems like what you're talking about.
Instead of having the same logo and then just instead of global Kid Zone, global youth, what we did is, okay, we have Kid Zone and we have our youth is called Vital, but there's a compass element. There's a direction element so that it's a unifying branding.
Yeah, like you could still have fun within
there's
these
still
rules.
Personality, and there's a reason, like, you know.
100%. Like if you're going to attract youth, right, having this super clean, modern logo may not be what they're into, but you could still have fun within that branding. What do you wish, I mean, you've worked with multiple, not only leaders and missionaries and things like that, but lots of different types of people. But what do you wish specifically more church leaders understood about the role design plays in ministry?
I wish that everyone had the team that I have. I am extremely blessed that we have 2 pastors that understand the importance, and our whole team. There's a unity in our team, which means that there's a unity in understanding for the branding or for how we get messages out and why we get messages out. And I think it would help to see that your people need clarity. Everybody is bombarded with so many visual messages a day, and it's not getting better, it's getting worse. There's just more. So to get somebody's attention and for them to actually comprehend something and take something away from it, and if you want them to do something, know what they need to do, it is extremely hard. And we work really hard at making things easy to understand and putting it out in a variety of ways. So we do it print. I send a text. There's an email. It's on social media. It's on the website. I do a video about it sometimes. We have an on-stage announcement. And still with all of that, I am amazed at how many people I would consider like leaders or like very regular attenders that just don't get it or like somehow miss a major point. And there are days where I go, I quit. I don't know what else to do. I really don't know how else to do it. But it's okay because I have to remember we are all being bombarded. So if leaders will realize the importance, because people need simplicity and clarity. And the visual helps because we are a visual society now. It's just, they have to see it, they have to hear it, they have to experience it, they have to talk about it.
Hit over the head with it.
And if there's something that we've worked hard at, and I hope we're doing it, is when we're going to have an event or something. Okay, what is the end goal? And how can we have a look that when we put out invitations, when we talk about it, what's on screen on Sundays, ties in even with the decoration and the look of the event. So there's just a unifying. I mean, our team happens to be very geared visually and creatively, which is great. And so even the music that goes to it, it all works together. And people don't realize it. They don't get it until they're somewhere else where they don't have that. And then they come back and we're like, wow, I didn't realize you guys thought about all of those things. And it's like, so they may not get it, but they enjoy it and they respond to it even though they don't realize it.
Isn't that crazy how they come back to be like, wow, this made a difference and it was memorable. And I think that's the advantage of thinking of design first. You're thinking about the whole picture, right? How are we going to make it look to then connect it back to our purpose and what we want to do? And I think a lot of churches and other leaders and nonprofits need to think about that too.
Yeah, and the design can help.
Yeah.
And the whole part is that the purpose isn't that the design is the star of the show.
Yeah.
It is to, how can I, as the designer or the communications director, my job is, how do I get the message from the pastors and the church? How can I help them accomplish what they need to do even better?
Yeah.
How can I make it easier for them to communicate what God has shown them that they need to communicate to others?
Absolutely. Well, and you give them tools, right? Because I know, well, I've asked my dad before, because they'll have Sunday slides, right? Their message slides. I'm like, man, this one's really nice. I'm like, surely you didn't do that. He's like, oh, no, that's Brenda.
So I try to give them a look, and they're great. And a lot of pastors, I know a lot of you rely on somebody to do everything. I am very blessed that our pastors actually do their own keynotes.
Yes.
But I give them the tools, and I've gotten even more specific. Hey, let's use these colors to go along with it, so that on Sunday I don't twitch when I see a random thing come up. But they're very good at, okay, if I, sometimes when you don't have any direction, it's harder to know what to do. And so that's where the random elements can come in. So it's not for me to drive and tell them, but it's to give them tools to make it easier.
Yeah.
And that's how a good team works together.
Yeah. Well, and that makes sense, because now you're allowing them to express more and do more, but within something that they can feel comfortable and confident using as well.
And we talk about it in the planning stage. And that's hard for me at some points, because I will have a vision of something.
Yeah.
And as a creative person, when you are creating something, you put yourself in it.
100%.
And so there are times where I have to pull myself back, because that's not what their vision was.
Yeah.
And so I can't take it personally. And sometimes if it's really important and I really think, then I'll push a little bit. But usually we meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And then it all comes out way better than either of us,
ever imagine.
Together is better, It works.
It's slogan or something like that. Amazing. But it's cool, because it's like you said, this all helps. It helps the whole team. It doesn't just help you, and it's not just your agenda of having this. It's it's building a presence for the church, and also for the staff to be able to utilize, and other people can do it. Because really, I think what a misconception of design is that it's just the designer doing everything. It's like we have to come up with systems to help a team. So you've already mentioned that, coming up with these systems to help your team, because other people are using this stuff. So it has to be practical in a way as well. In your experience, I know you've mentioned that design has value, but what value has design brought to the organizations you've worked with, this one and others?
I've worked with other churches who don't have the ability to have anybody on staff that can do it. So we're talking not even one person, they have no one.
Yeah.
And there are companies out there that will give you standard graphics, and you just put your church name in it. But that's not personal. And that doesn't help. Not every graphic is going to fit the personality of every church. So helping them come up with, okay, who are you? And so the community knows who you are, even just by seeing an invitation for Easter or for Christmas. It's not just a standard, no, this is who we are. For missionaries, it helps them. They have very limited time to be before people in churches. So they need concise visuals that tell the people, this is who I am, this is what we're doing, this is what we want God to do through us, and this is how you can help us accomplish it and be a part of that. So the design helps tell their story very quickly in a visual. So.
That's awesome. And it's cool because, like you've mentioned, a lot of individuals don't have the time or the resources, and it's very real. So when you step in and help that, but within that, how have you ever had anybody just even tell you, like, hey, this is the impact that this had for me, like a card or a design that you've created for someone else?
We have a church that we work with in Michigan, and to hear after, they called me like last minute, like a week and a half before Easter, can you help us? And it's like scrambling. So, I take something that we've done here before, but okay, let's change it and make it you, and then say, oh my gosh, the response was great, or we had a whole bunch of people come. Yeah. They were able to reach people in a different way, in a new way.
That's really cool. I think that's really exciting to see when your work makes the impact, like the action steps are being taken. I know you mentioned earlier some challenges that you face is do all these different aspects, but then people don't see it, it goes past them, they're just not paying attention.
Yeah.
But what other challenges do you face and how do you overcome them?
One unique to us, and then maybe it is to others also, is that we do everything bilingual. Everything is in 2 languages. A lot of churches can come up with great designs for a Christmas invitation, and they have like a beautiful picture and like 1 word on the front. And then on the back, you can have all the details.
Yeah.
Well, that's great when you're one language, but I have to think about, okay, how are we going to get all the information? And it's not, I wish even I could do 2 separate invitations, one English and one Spanish.
Yeah.
But the reality is, even myself, when I'm handing out invitations, I have, well, this neighbor I want to hand, it needs to be bilingual.
Yeah.
And that's just culturally, and that's important. That's part of who we are, our identity. So that has to remain a priority.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And so I have frustrating moments. I'm like, why does it take so many more words to say it in Spanish than it does in English? But it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because it's about the people in the end. So figuring out how to make things bilingual and not look crazy busy and chaotic. Thinking of ways to say things like, we have great phrases or sayings in English, but that's not going to translate in Spanish. It doesn't mean the same thing, or vice versa. Yeah. We've had some great things in Spanish. I'm like, well, how are we going to say that in English? But those kind of challenges are worth overcoming.
Yeah.
And look at it, instead of looking them as challenges, looking them as blessings.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. So how can we do that? And a lot of times our frustrations can be personal issues with things. Okay, let me reevaluate this. Is this just a frustration because I'm getting my creative feelings hurt? And
Very real.
It does. It does happen. And I'm like, okay, is it really that important? At the end of the day, are they really going to look at it? Anyway, but yes, they do. Yeah. Somebody will. Somebody will. And like you said before, what's one of those wins? And it's when somebody notices something a detail that is important to us. And it's like, oh, I saw that. And I'm like, okay, yes.
Like, this is working.
Yes, I timed the music for that moment in the video on purpose, or
there's intention behind it.
Yes, there is intention.
And when people see that, it's meaningful not only to us, but then also the message you're trying to share.
And it's incredibly rewarding, and that helps you get over the frustrations.
Yes.
And the challenges. Because you get back to, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Who is this for? And Lord, guide me.
Yeah. So what advice would you give for maybe organizations or churches that have either no team or a small team or a 1-star show like you?
I would say it doesn't always have to be the flashiest and the fanciest. We are in an age of comparison on social media. And I can put myself in the depths of depression if I look at too many and go, I will never be able to reach that level. Or are people not coming to our church because I'm not good enough as a designer? That's a real challenge. It's about simple is fine. Simple is good. If it's done well, simple is usually the best.
Yeah.
And coming together, whether you have a team of designers or if it's just your leadership team and one person, and let's get on the same page. Let's see how we can help each other make it easier and be better. And we're not working against each other. We need to work together. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people in my position, like at churches, that struggle with that because the pastors don't understand or see the value. And that you're putting levels, and we're all should be working together and realize that we can help each other. and it's
Absolutely.
okay.
No, sound like a true communications director.
I try.
But it's true. I mean, seeing the value of not only design, but how these other aspects come all together is important. And ultimately, it helps your message come across better. Because you're like, okay, you can see when there's tension and you can see when there's collaboration and they're working together.
But it's really taking also your personal ego out of the equation.
Yeah.
There have been times where I wanted to go in a direction, and others, if I'm working for someone, a specific ministry, and they need it this way.
Yeah.
Then and I will do my best to make it look as good as possible and how I want it to look, but I have to go with
do it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think as designers, that's a part of our role is educating those we work with to be like, hey, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is why I've made these decisions. Right. But ultimately, sometimes other visions have precedence, or they're like, hey, this is just what we need, and we have to just be like, okay, we're gonna make it look really good.
We're gonna do the best we can
around these.
And that's okay. And I have to take my personal feelings out of the equation.
Very true. No, and it's just been super educational to see how you've managed to work with so many different personalities in your role now, and internationally too. So I just want to thank you for your time. I've been dying to have you here. When I thought of this series, I was like, I need Brenda.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I've looked up to you for so long, and I'm just happy to have you here. But thank you guys for watching. If you want to just check out Global Church, see the work that Brenda's doing online, you can check out on the website and social is globalchurch.me. And if you have any questions about branding or how your organization can show up better, you can follow along, ask any questions. But this is Let's Get On Brand, where mission meets design. Thank you. I only got one thing to edit.
Makes it real. That's good.
That makes it real.
It really does.